Hi everyone, still raining today, still muddy. Today I'm gonna do a tutorial on regular brakes and paddles. So again, we have three sizes. Okay, this is 36 3/4, this is 33 3/4, and this is 35 8. Obviously there are a bunch of sizes. I recommend starting with a 36 3/4, just so you have more room and time to complete movements. When you're first learning brakes and paddles, the easiest is to start by learning the brakes. So you can start with those on your waist, and for the brake, you are braking the hoop and sending it back into the other direction. But think of it more of a pushing in the other direction instead of just stopping. One of the things I notice a lot with the brakes is when people brake it, they really stop the hoop. And when you do that, it causes the hoop to kind of go down and it makes an uneven plane. So you really just want to more push it back, and then you want to use your other hand to push it back. Think of it more of a push than a stop. The other thing is, I don't recommend using your hands for the brakes, only because when you use your hands, you tend to want to grab onto the hoop, and that will obviously slow down your brakes. So I recommend using the inside of your arms or your wrists. The thing with basic brakes is you kind of want to have your legs apart, your back straight, your knees slightly bent, and you're just gonna stop your hoop, send it back, just like that. And you really want to hold on to your core, make your core strong, because that really helps with balance of the hoop. Yeah, so practice going like this and sway your body. Really sway your body with each brake. At first the movement will look a little exaggerated, like you'll be like this. But over time it'll make a natural rhythm for you, so it'll be much easier.
Just gonna stop your hoop, send it back.
And once you have brakes down on your waist, it's gonna be the same thing. You're gonna put it on your back, straight back. You want your knees a little bent, and brake, 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 brake. And again, don't use your hands, use the insides of your wrists. And just remember, really move with your hoop. And the bigger the hoop is, it's gonna be a little wonky, but I really recommend using the bigger hoops for starting. It's not gonna look as good with the bigger hoop, but once you have the movement down and you move on to smaller hoops, it's gonna look very good. Then after you have in the basic brakes, you're gonna add in the paddle. So the movement of a paddle is, as soon as you brake with your inside of your arm, your other arm is gonna come inside and push along the inside of the hoop, come out in time to stop it, like that. And so this hand is gonna come in, push it like this, come in and stop it. But don't stop with your hand, and just using that for showing purposes. Paddle, brake. And once again, straight backs, move with your hoop, and have your legs a little bent. When you mess it up and your hand's already outside, it's gonna fall in the crack of your arm. So instead of just stopping, send it back in the other direction with some brakes. And if you feel the hoop starting to get a little lopsided, the same thing. Just go back to brakes and make those brakes really even. And when your brakes are even and your body and hoop are in sync, add your paddle in again. Definitely learn brakes and paddles with the bigger hoop. You have so much more time to do the paddle, come out and stop it. With the smaller ones, you really don't have that much time. Also, really don't rush yourself. When you learn brakes and paddles, it's going to be very frustrating. Just get the brakes down very solidly. Once you have the brakes down, then you can move on to the paddles and combining them. When I first learned brakes and paddles, I could not understand it at all. It took me like weeks to even get the concept of it, and then once I did, like something still hadn't clicked, and so I just left it alone and I came back to it a while later and it clicked. So take as much time as you need, don't put pressure on yourself. And so basically the movement for brakes and paddles is going to be paddle, come out, brake, paddle, come out, brake. And I used to walk around the hallways doing that and people thought I was really weird, but I got brakes and paddles. So just practicing even the motion will help put some muscle memory into your arms. So once you're comfortable with that and you go down to a smaller hoop, it's gonna look a lot more even, a little faster. So this is 35/8. And that is your brakes and paddles tutorial. I also have another tutorial on elbow brakes and paddles, so once you get down the regular brakes and paddles, move on to elbow brakes and paddles. Thank you.